let's flip over to Ole Miss. Rebels travel to Auburn to take on the Auburn Tigers at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I actually think Auburn caught a break with the kickoff time in this game.
Oh, yeah.
With it being a night game. Jordan-Hare Stadium is great. Not good, great. It feels like college football. And my guess is that it will be packed to the gills on Saturday night.
There's some emotions in this one, it seems like. Yeah, probably. And what's interesting about this is there are a lot of people, and understandably so, I get it, talking about the history or lack thereof of Ole Miss success in that stadium. I certainly get it. I don't subscribe to the history stuff, especially when how many players on Ole Miss's team played there 2 years ago? When Ole Miss played at Jordan-Hare in 2021, how many current Ole Miss players were on that team that lost there?
I don't know the answer to that, but my guess is it's a small number.
I mean, a quick run through: quarterback, running backs, wide receivers, tight end, all different. One guy on the defensive line was on the Auburn sideline that night. Another one was there. The rest weren't. Linebackers weren't there. Basically, the entire secondary wasn't there. Defensive coordinator wasn't there. So, remember in 21 this happened. Well, everything was different back then. I don't subscribe to the history stuff. It's, a difficult place to play. What should encourage you is two things, actually. One, all the stuff shouldn't impact the current Ole Miss players because none of them played for, and most of them weren't recruited by Hugh Freeze. Maybe Sector Johnson was. But they don't even know who the guy is. They don't know what happened at Ole Miss. They have no ties to it. They have no emotions.
You got me
there.
wondering on that one.
I mean, it's possible, since he's been around forever, it's possible that he was. But Hugh Freeze got fired before the 2017 season. None of these guys...
Did you say played for or have played against?
Played for or were recruited by.
Now, yes. Cedric Johnson is class of 2020, so no chance now.
He may have been recruited by... probably not, but I guess it's possible that there was a phone call. If he was a class of 2020 and Freeze was fired in 17, he wouldn't have been in 8th grade when...
I think Borky just inadvertently made his first phone reference of the week.
Yeah. I did.
Oh, they're coming.
But that should be, because they won't get wrapped up in all that crap because they have no relationship with the guy. They weren't around. He's not part of it. And two, this team you would think is battle tested, right? They've been in, they played in Tuscaloosa, and they lost there, but they still played there. And they've been in weird spots multiple times this season. They were down late in New Orleans against Tulane. They were down 2 scores midway through the fourth quarter against LSU. They were down in the fourth quarter against Arkansas. So they've kind of been through games where, whether it was a weird start like in Arkansas, or Trey Harris gets hurt on the third play in Tulane, or Dart gets hurt on the second play in Arkansas, or your defense is getting beaten down up and down the field for 3 quarters with LSU, and they've won, and they've played well, and they've overcome that. So, yes, it's a difficult place to play. Historically, they don't do well there. You've got an experienced quarterback and a team that has overcome adversity multiple times already this season. I would be shocked if the environment gets to them, if that's something that they are intimidated by. Maybe it is, but it feels like they've kind of been through it already this year to where that shouldn't intimidate them.
I don't think the environment is an issue to start the game. I don't think the environment is an issue in the second quarter. And Ole Miss has the ability to kind of take the crowd out of the game. To me, the only spot that the environment could become an issue is if Auburn hangs around, whether it means they play great and they hang around, or Ole Miss plays poorly and they hang around. If you get to the fourth quarter and it's a game, that's when Jordan-Hare can become a problem. Because it gets loud, they're right on top of you. It's just a really, really good crowd, and Auburn plays better, and they play more confident at home. I'm not sure that I believe anymore that 7 points is what a home field advantage is worth in college football. I think it's a little less than that. probably more like 4 or 5 when odds makers are making the spread. I think Auburn is a touchdown home crowd difference. And if you believe that, that means Ole Miss got to win this game by more than a touchdown.
And on paper, they should.
They should.
We talked about it a little bit last week, but that's why, unless this game gets weird, Ole Miss is better at quarterback. They're better at running back. Although Auburn's got a good one, but still, they're better there with the 1-2 punch. Better at receiver. They're better at basically every spot on the field. And so if they play to their capabilities and don't get caught up in stuff, or if Dart doesn't make an early mistake or something like that, if they just come out and play clean A football, they cannot lose if they play to their capability. Now, if they don't, all bets are off. But if they go in there and they play well and they execute, they will win the game. Auburn can't beat Ole Miss's A game. They can beat their B, but they can't. I don't think that they can line up and beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss's best.